Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Special edition of Wizards Outlook this afternoon. I'm sure all of you have heard. Washington Wizards made some noise today with the trade deadline coming up tomorrow. So, Cardell, the breaking news for this afternoon: um, the Dallas Mavericks traded 10-time NBA All-Star Anthony Davis along with Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum to the Washington Wizards for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, two first round picks and three second rounders. As far as the picks go, those the two first rounders Washington sent, one of them was a 2026 Thunder first round pick. The second was a 2030 protected Warriors first round pick. The second rounders, a Phoenix 2026, a Chicago 2027, and a Houston 2029. So, Cardell, I just want to get your initial thoughts of the trade, and we'll get into the fit and cap and all that good stuff.
Well, it changes everything. It looked like it was just a continuous rebuild that was going on. Try to see what can happen in the draft, the development of the young core, and whenever Trey gets back. But trading for AD and D'Angelo Russell and Jaden Hardy at the moment, it changes the course of everything. This is a big leap to kind of get back to winning. We're trying to win some games and do damage in the postseason and whatnot. Uh, the main thing, obviously, with AD is the health. We know what he is when he's healthy. Similar to Trey. Trey hasn't been as whatever injury, whatever you want to call it, injury prone as AD. But that's the thing. If he's healthy, I love the duo of him and Alex Sarr in the front court. Like both ends, they both versatile bigs on both ends. Um, they both can shoot the jumper. Stretch out the three, post, lob threat. Rim runs, whatever you need, mid range, go screens, roll up, pop out. They can do it all offensively, and they can make plays. They can make the guys around them better. Um, the defensively is where I think they could really excel. Like, even offensively with the high low game, I ain't want to forget that high low game between them. But defensively is where they can cause havoc, and they make up for Trey. That's a weakness of his. Defense. With those two brothers behind them, I mean, yeah, you can go past them all you want. You know what I mean? They going more than likely one of them is going to get to it, or all trail send it back. It just is what it is. They're both elite rim protectors. But they're also good at on-ball defense, whether it's front court players or getting out on the perimeter where they got to switch, they got to hedge out, whatever they need to do, they can move their feet and hold up out there. And that's something that not many teams have. Two bigs that can impact the game on both ends of the floor in as many ways as those two can, man. So I'm loving that move. Obviously they got to again stay healthy, but yeah, I'm loving it. It's a big move. It's a big move, and it also changes things where we kind of thought like, man, Trey probably won't play. Rest of the year we don't. Highly unlikely. Just rest up. Probably more than likely they're going to try to get some chemistry going after the All-Star break or whatnot. Here or whenever this trade clears. So officially clears, let's call it what that is. And then also they got below the luxury tax. I'm talking about the Wizards, man. They got $5 million below the luxury tax. The first apron 195. The threshold is 187. They have 182, so they can still make another move and they won't really hurt them. They didn't give up their top 8 protected pick that they have now. So it really shows a leap to all right, we trying to get back to winning. Enough of this, because honestly, the last two home games, the last two losses at home with the Knicks and the Lakers, that was brutal. That was brutal to be in the building for those. It was essentially a Lakers home game and a Knicks home game, and that's embarrassing. I don't care if you're in the front office as a player, without like when you not only is your team getting beat down, but when you look around that building and it's essentially the opposing team gym in your city, if you're a competitor of any kind, that bothers you. So, Wenger made a statement a couple weeks back, kind of challenging the young core, like, yeah, we about to get back to winning. So y'all better tighten up. In a sense. Now, obviously, until action is done, it's just words. But this is action showing that he was dead serious. And we knew for weeks that they were kind of navigating the market, trying to see if they can get another big man. Because I think they get that Sarr is not a center. He could play it at times, but he's really a four. You know what I mean? Now, AD in the past has said he didn't like playing center. We'll see. But I think they can navigate both. It doesn't matter. I think they can navigate both. And then you got to look at it from the Trae Young aspect. AD, Sarr is young, but Anthony Davis, this is probably, if he stay healthy, this will probably be the easiest type of scoring. The variety of ways he can score, it'll probably be the easiest stretch of scoring he's had in his career, because Trae's a master at manipulating defenses, and especially out the pick and roll actions and stuff, man, and finding people. Like all they would be able to, all they would need to do is just catch and finish, essentially, whether you shoot a jumper or finishing that side. And they're going to help him on the other end. And he can just do what he does best. So, yeah, this is a big move. It is. It changes a lot with the Wizards. And the young core, when these guys are on the floor now, the young core, the same mistakes you were allowed to play through before, them days are over. You got to get to it. You got to figure it out. And those that'll figure it out, they'll be around. And honestly, the ones that won't, they're going to have to find them a new home, because now the expectation and stuff has changed. It's about, all right, let's get back to winning. Let's get back to postseason play. Let's get back to building towards that. Whereas now, you overnight. Whereas yesterday it's like still rebuilding. Now it's like, okay, you can kind of see some light at the end of the tunnel. Whereas last night it was bad. Knicks came in and just, they treat them like an ugly stepchild, essentially, man. Just y'all don't belong on the court. Y'all about here by the third quarter, and that's what they did, man. But I love the move, man. Just stay healthy, and I think that the impact will follow rather quickly.
Yeah, I think, again, for everything you said, accelerant. That's the first thing I thought about. They just accelerated this whole process. Whatever it was before, it drastically changed overnight. And that point you made about folks being able to make mistakes, there's a lot of things that can change about this once those two veteran players are inserted into the lineup. Like, keep in mind, like right now, so we know all the young players they have, but Trey's 27, still, it's prime. AD's 32, still in that window. On the other side of that window, but he's still in his window, right? For a lot of those folks, like you said, that were getting minutes and were open, those mistakes you're able to make. Like, there's the good side of this is you have a lot of folks who just had starters minutes who eventually, when healthy, will now be coming off the bench. They'll be ready to go. And it's gonna make your team that much the quality of your depth improved, because these are folks that were just playing starters minutes with a lot of freedom, right? So now, yeah, some of it gets dialed back, but also you want to have folks that are hungry coming off the bench trying to get to it immediately, because this is some of these youngsters, your first introduction to it is officially in business. Yesterday is yesterday, today is today. You talked about Trae and all the things that he brings on. I think this makes me feel a little bit more at ease, where if you win Trae, yeah, this is what you surround him with. A whole bunch of length defensively. Like a ton of it. As you said, I'm eager. I can't wait to see what that looks like. I saw Josh Robbins tweet, and then Shams, a couple others talk about the Wizards pretty much essentially getting this out there, that they're excited about that front line of Bilal, AD, Sarr. Because defensively, what that trio can wreak on that end of the floor. And again, keep in mind the names that were not listed, which means that's depth now. That's You're going to be in a place where Keyshawn George, Buck Carrington, Will Riley, Jaden Hardy, because if while Champagne, sorry, while that fight goes on for minutes after that starting group gets figured out, that's quality depth. Like, that's really truly quality depth. and the size that this team has now. But yeah, I can't wait to see what that looks like defensively. Um, I don't know how folks are going to deal with it, and it's going to be refreshing. For all the years that we didn't see any defense, um, I'm looking for what I'm looking for. Where you got those two dudes, and like you said, it's kind of weird because separately, AD is that best partner next to a kind of a bigger, a big with more mass. SR probably would be as well, but together, it's interchangeable. You got some help. But think about the mobility when you're switching and things of that nature. That's hell. Are you going to want to switch? Would you want to go from SR to AD?
No, I mean,
Like you want to go from let's get Bilal off me to get AD on me in space. Nah, let's get Star on me in space. Oh, maybe I get Keyshawn instead. Like what? I'm just so excited about what they can be defensively on a consistent basis. Go ahead.
and then each of them, they don't feel alone. Having I mean, let's be real, man. Like we've been saying it for years. The top teams got honestly like two bigs you got to deal with. Especially in the East, you gonna have Embiid is the load. He's still looking good. Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns. You got obviously you had Giannis and Miles Turner, but that might be over. The Cavs, big man. You know what I mean? Toronto, and they got like 10 wings that can do everything. You know what I mean? You just Bam down in Miami. Charlotte. The young kid from Michigan. All them guys, like he's 6'10", but he plays a lot bigger than what he is, man. It's for you to make any noise. Boston, they just traded for Vucevic. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not getting out the East. You're not making any noise out west. You're not making no noise in a deep postseason run if you get there. If you don't have a serviceable big, if you don't have depth in that side, like it's just. And the beautiful thing is, like I mean, good luck. You think you just got AD? You try to post up AD, which is a chore in itself to try to go to work on the block or whatnot. SAR could come from the weak side and block it. Same thing AD for SAR. Like that hasn't been the case before. If the guy gets a shot off, he gets a shot off. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, that and Bilal's a pass on that end and whatnot. So I'm pretty sure he'll be guarding the top perimeter threat, and then Trey, the Treys. Forget about Trey Johnson.
Right. The Treys.
Yeah, they
Lord.
can kind of hide on the non-threats, but they still going to have to be able to show up. They're going to have to, they can't just be matadors. They can't, I'm not going to say no names. It can't be certain players that just allow it to happen, man. But, but my thing is, yes, you get a lot of depth, but roles about to change. You know what I mean? Like I said, that freedom,
yes.
That role will be the same. It's just for you to play through the same mistakes. Like I'm pretty sure they're gonna be lower to Bub, but with a Bub struggling, that hook gonna be a little bit quicker now, because you got D'Angelo Russell down there, and that's with Trey playing 30-35 minutes. At a point now, Bub can play off guard, also, so he can get in that role. So can D'Angelo Russell. So can Jaden Hardy though. See what I'm saying? So
it gets interesting.
Yeah, you don't have that freedom now. You really got to lock in. And you can't say you wasn't warned because Wenger said that a couple weeks ago. So it was just a matter of when it was coming. We know they were working on it coming. The rumors were about Sabonis at first. But I honestly like this better because AD, when healthy, impacts both ends. And they need somebody that can impact the defensive end. I'm not with all these people who just gullible and follow the beer where it's just you score. The Wizards have scored a ton of points. The wins haven't followed. But they give up a hell of a lot more points. The losses have followed because of that. So they got to tune that up, man. So, and then you got a bunch of young Wolves coming in there, in the wings and the front court, you know what I mean? Like Will, Keyshawn, Anthony Gilder, Vet, Champagny. If you got to throw Jameer in that, I know they're going to be back with Jameer.
I forgot, yeah.
Yeah. You know what
like
I mean?
they're about to be fighting for spots in the rotation, like for real, which I'm happy about. Like, let's really get this going in the right direction.
Yes. I mean, welcome to basketball. That's how it should be. It should be competition. And in this NBA, like it's been enough losing. I'm really like, come on, man. It's hard to watch. So imagine being a part of that organization. That's on your resume. We need to change this. You know, I mean, and we can look at everything. We, you know, how we do on our show. We look at everything, even the business side of it. You renovating a whole new arena. Don't you want something nice for people to come and enjoy outside looking at that, because that grace period will only last so long if the losing, like we've seen against the Knicks and the Lakers over the last whatever 5 days, whatever you want to call it. If
A
that continues,
long 5 days. It feels like a month. It's been
yeah, it was bad. It's been
yeah.
bad. So if you sitting in the arena, yeah, it look nice and all that, all of a sudden you're gonna need a few more drinks to ignore the fact of what you're seeing on the floor if this type of losing continues. Now, if these guys are healthy and all that, that won't continue. And it's going to create a sense of urgency towards winning that I like, that hasn't been in the building, honestly, since Wall left. No, since Russ left.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, the last moment with Russ.
Russ came on one leg. Nah,
And
we
you
ain't with.
felt that sense of urgency with him in there, like you felt it.
Yeah,
And
yup.
like we're not. That was the.
Yeah, we going to the playoffs though. I ain't with that willingly losing type stuff. So that's what it is, man. So I love the move, man.
Yep. Now I'm right with you. Like I said, the only thing else permitted, obviously, is the only thing there. But again, there's so many positives, and I'm so grateful that defense is like the theme of this pouring in, man. Like so grateful because there's anything AD's gonna do. And again, like you said earlier, I think was a big point is think about all the teams AD's been on when he's been playing defense by his damn self. Um, he's been there by himself. Go cover for 8 people.
Yeah,
Um,
my bad. I spoke about how Alex and AD would make things easier for Trey. What Trey is going to do for them offensively. Like
yeah.
I keep saying, it's going to be the easiest points, and
And
then
then
like he should be unstoppable. Like Trey should get like averaging. I'm talking about he should be averaging like 25 and 12 if everybody healthy doing what they do, like
yeah,
efficient, because he's gonna get so many wide open shots to do what he do, and we know he's an assassin. Like he ain't tripping off the big stage and big moments. He with it. Like last night, I know you wasn't there in the building. They showed, he had on a Chuck Cooper hoodie or something like that.
yeah.
Commemorating, a black player drafted by the Celtics to play in the NBA, and they put him on the jumbotron. I said it was a Knicks home game in DC, right? He immediately got booed. So I'm like, y'all booing Chuck Cooper? Dang. Then they
Oh
hit me
yeah.
on that, oh, it's Trey.
Trey
Because
Young.
Trey looked up, was like, just started smiling, like, it's coming. So now,
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So that's what I
yeah.
mean. Like, he with it. So all he need, we know AD proven he got a ring. So
Oh,
that's also, something different, man. Like somebody with championship caliber to teach you, no, certain things you got to do. And they had that. I'm not gonna say they ain't had that. CJ was great for him. You could just tell. Chris Middleton, professionals, and that's why I was happy even though they still rebuilding, you bring those type of guys in because it teaches these youngins how to work and how
right.
to be professional. Chris Middleton came to work, man. He ain't complain, no bad attitude. Of course, later in his career, he wanted to be in a position to win and stuff like that. And that's why with Dallas, I think he gonna be bought out. Somebody gonna come get him. I don't think he's staying
Mhm.
there. But yeah, I of course that. You know what I mean? But now you get somebody with that's younger and they can really, really help. Like Middleton's a little bit past his prime, AD still in his prime, Trey's in a sense just entering it. So we haven't even seen
Right.
his basketball. So with this young core having had a lot of minutes to understand kind of what the league is about, now they can focus more on, instead of focusing on trying to do a lot of things they may not be quite ready for,
Exactly.
focus on
Exactly.
a couple things and put all their energy
Right.
in that, and that's all they need. And they should be ready for that. And if they're not ready for that,
You'll
yeah,
still see though. It is
yeah,
what it is. Like
yeah, it's big boy league.
it's a
Can't wait,
business. Yeah.
wait.
Um, and to your point about what that the offensive end of the floor is about to look like, we seen what Trey looks like. Obviously, we're capable bigs. But think about it right now. Like you got two bigs, you can pick in whatever with. They can screen in every option off the screen. You can utilize both of them with. That floor is about to be so freaking spread at times. It's absurd. Not to mention the stuff they can do, the two-man games they can run with each other, the two bigs. Like there's just dumb
Saying
stuff
I love.
that they can do. Like even it's just gonna be interesting, man. But yeah, just I'm just happy like I get like I've always understood the rebuilding thing, and I get the I'm too old for that stuff, man. Let's get
Yeah,
to the like I'm like thank you for simming to the simming a couple steps because I need to get closer to that again because it's needed, man. It's just a little too much of it, especially when we're watching it and we get it. You try to keep your pick or whatever, but the sad part is like think about how maybe like possibly like why it's so frustrating at least for me was you instead of letting the kids play 30 minutes a night to kind of ensure that you keep your pick, you have to hold them back so you can ensure your pick.
mhm.
Which meant that like, low key you did it. You did the right thing already. So like why not just go for it? So cool, let's skip a couple steps. Obviously we know what the pick this year, keep it, yada yada yada, and get to it. I'm ready to get to the next stage of go, 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 go.
With their abilities, obviously, I'm not saying they're gonna be the Thanos not gonna be as good as what I'm about to say, but they do similar things. Remember when Duncan came with Robinson? Both
Yeah.
can shoot the mid range. Both can operate out of pick and roll action, sideline pick and roll action, ghosted. Obviously, elite defenders and rim protectors, rebounders, both can run the floor. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but they also had a mean high-low game where they feed it off each other. It was nothing for either one of them to flash to the elbow and throw a quick lob, and they just dunking it before the defense can react. That's when I'm visualizing seeing these two play together. I'm not saying they're gonna beat them. Like, calm down. Like, hell, they got win a couple rings before we even had that. I'm just saying, like, they have abilities in that mode where they can do those things. We know AD's proven he's a Hall of Famer, but I'm saying, like, Sarr, as he keeps developing, can become that, and he can learn from AD because, whenever y'all work out and stuff like that, you got to see that every day in practice, and that's. I mean, I think the best big man he's played with since he's drafted was not yeah Boost. Well, nah, what's my
You talking about AD?
who? And I'm
I
talking
said
about
you talking about
Sarr, the best
oh
big
okay.
Sarr been drafted. Not Boost, but
What
Valanciunas.
Valanciunas? Yeah.
Valanciunas. You see what I'm saying? And he's not AD. He's a low, but he's not AD. Now it's
Hmm.
different. So yeah, man, this shows momentum towards let's getting back to being not just relevant, but putting wins in the column again and being competitive instead of being a team. We can come in here just blow them out and get them up out of here by 30.
We had a comment from Alexander Wilson. I still think the most important thing is keeping this year's lottery pick.
For sure, but I don't think that's the most important thing. Like getting AD and all of that, because think about it, they was gonna get them before AD, and it was just misery. Like, believe me, I'm in the arena. It's just um, they're making a lot of money at the bar. Let's just say the concession stand because there's a lot of drinks being bought to deal with that. Like, loaded. But no, I mean that. But that was big too. You don't want to give away assets and stuff like that because that's part of your keep continuing to build, and this draft is loaded. So, and it's top 8 protected. So, we're gonna see how that plays out. So they get in the top 8, they're gonna get somebody nice. Well, honestly, man, the whole first round gonna be somebody nice if you scout well, do what you're supposed to do. To be truthfully honest, it's gonna go deep in the second round. This draft is crazy. So you're gonna get somebody of quality if your scouting department is on point. And the Wizards have hit on, Sarr, Buzz been quite. It ain't been like somebody like, yo, he ain't got it, man. There hasn't been none of that yet. God willing. Like,
Right.
look at Will. Nobody was looking at Will being drafted, and he's way ahead of schedule. Like, he's challenging these young boys. Like, I might be it. I might be pushing one of y'all out the door. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? So you can't knock it. They've been doing well drafting as well. So nah, man. And like I said, I love it all the way, man. You know what I mean? And yeah, keeping that pick is essential because it gives you flexibility. And then, we gotta look at it from all points. That's what we do, on the show. What we do. Let's say Trey, worst case scenario, Trey and AD aren't healthy a lot. Okay, it just ain't working. 2 valuable assets you could group with some of this young Corden picks and trade and get somebody else, a big time player, to come in and try to build around and keep this thing going. Like, you have so many options of flexibility, and that's what every team wants to be in, especially in this tax apron era in the league we are in. If you
Yep.
are like if you're restricted because you over the tax apron and your team can't win, that's just a bad place to be, man. That's just you just treading water.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Is the flexibility they have with this, where obviously everybody wants it to work. But just in case it doesn't, yeah, you could pivot off this real easy, like go about your business and still, yeah, so you still have a good chunk of your core, and that's not counting whatever you take in next year's draft, as you said. Um, but yeah, man, in this iteration of the league with that apron, yeah, this is outstanding on the business front. They hit this out the park.
So if they get a top 8 pick and keep their pick, yeah, who you think what at least what position do you think they should go for? Now that you have AD and all these guys.
You asking me that?
Yeah, man, yeah.
Oh, my answer's been big, 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 big. It's still not changing for me.
You still need another big with them too?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's the only reason for is again, I don't want to keep doing this, but like AD doesn't always make it through seasons, man. Like that's just what it is right now. And even to get him through a season, you still might have to manage him a certain way to get him through the season as best possible. Um, like that's just me where I'm at right now. I'm still going that route just because when you look at this roster, they're still heavy on the wing. They're still like you just talked about Will Riley, right?
Right.
We just talked about the fights they're about to have in their rotation. You just brought in Hardy. I don't know how many people on this side watch Dallas or whatever, but it's a very talented young guard. Yeah, like he can really go. So like that's my concern is like my fear. I think it's better served is if you get a young player that plays in the front court, they plays a 4 or 5. You probably got more opportunity to actually get minutes, get on the court or what have you. Where obviously, if you end up picking, you end up at one and you say, who that's cool. It is what it is. But I'm not talking about that scenario. I'm talking just top 8, like excluding the top 2 or whatever.
Okay, but
yeah.
So define big, because most people like big. He's 6'10". Like you mean center?
I'm sorry, a power forward or center, not a 3. I don't need somebody moonlighting as a 4. I want a 4 that can play some 5, or it's just a 4. Like I'm cool if you're just a 4 or a 5. That's a 5. I just want somebody where you can pair with those two. So if anybody's out, you're still good. That's where I'm at with it. I don't want one of those, no knock on whoever this applies to. One of those guys where like they're technically a big because of the height and the length, but there's no like they've never played the position before in their life, and you're waiting for them to figure out how to do it.
Well, cool. So you got Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson, you got Jaden Quains from Kentucky. Like at this point, from what you've seen in college, like what big would you look at? GM Wilson.
Hey, just real quick, Kentucky's they got that big overgrown Amari looking kid, right?
That's Jaden Quains, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right there, we done. Yeah, I'm cool. Give me Boozer, give me him, and I'm walking out. I'm cool. Like that's it. I'm not considering nothing else. I don't want anything else. I want the polished everything of Boozer, or I will dunk on your family tree from young and from Kentucky. That's all I want.
Gotta get young and healthy. That's the only thing.
Here we go. If like good God. But yeah, that's where I'm at, man. What about you
though? I'm kind of in the same boat. They got a ton of wings unless they were gonna move. Like the only exception, if somehow a miracle happens, they get the first pick.
That's what I'm saying. They throw everything out the window, and you know who you take. You run up there.
You gotta go get there. And yeah, some of them young guys, yeah, charge it to the game.
That's one of them. Hey, make the pick and figure that out afterwards. It don't even matter.
And it is what it is, dog. Because he's too cold with his feel. He ready to go. Even second pick, AJ. I know he went, but he can get down there, bang. He's more the wing thing. But I get it. If you in that top 8 range favorably, you want another big to add depth. And But the Quaintance kid, he's raw offensively, but defensively he helps. So I think with what they have, offensively and the versatility and stuff like that, he would be it, but it will be hard to pass on Boozer. I like Caleb Wilson. I just don't think he can play center. I think he's strictly a forward. That's it, But the one that's probably most ready to go on both ends, 4 or 5, that's Boozer all day. You know what I mean? So, I could see them going with him if they had their fair share of pick. They not number 1 to 2. Because I think he's ready to come in, ready to go. You can just watch his game. I saw him up at the Garden, scouting him and all that, man. He technician, you can throw it in him, but he also got perimeter game. And he's smart. He can make the reads. He can hit the 3. Big body, already 6'9", 250. He's not the most athletic. That's the only thing. Like you ain't gonna get a lot of rim protection from him, but he gonna be there in the spot he needs to be. He gonna be in position defensively to use his big body to be in the way. And then that's the only thing. So, but Caleb Wilson just an animal. He's just a 4 though. Like, he ain't gonna be no 5, but he gonna block shots. He a lobber. He gonna dunk. He gonna rebound. He got moves in the mid range on the block. He versatile. Hell, he's more of a 4-3. See what I'm saying? Like he can. All right, put it this way: if you wanted to go big, like man, you might be like, look, Bilal, you play point, and we got Keyshawn at the 2. Will Riley at the 3, or no, one of them at the 2, and then you could put Caleb at the 3, then Sar and AD at the 4-5, however you want to do it, and then that's just a big team to rumble. You know what I mean? And that's why I like the versatility of this roster, because now when you play, let's say you go to the playoffs and you run into the Raptors, that's all they bring.
Yeah.
And the center may not be able to keep a traditional center that you may have, or they may not be able to keep up with how they get down, because they're going to be on the perimeter. Like you're going to have to guard a Scotty Barnes who might play center in some spurts, and he's going to be on the perimeter or playing point, bringing it up. And then your center, it creates a bunch of mismatches, and that's what the league about. Let's find a mismatch and just exploit that till they adapt. And that's going to be tough, man. So you got options with that, man, but it's a deep draft, man, because that's what you got. Sometimes when it's a deep draft, you think you can't miss, but in a sense, you can't miss because you get a player that can help, but he just don't fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like back in the day with Portland. They didn't miss with Jermaine O'Neal. They just had so many quality bigs, there was no room for him. But then he get to Indiana's All-Star, they like, you traded Jermaine O'Neal, you ain't play. Why you ain't play this? It was
because there was 9 people he couldn't beat out to play. Cliff Robinson was penciled in as day 6 everything for like his entire career. Like they had like 5 starting caliber 4s. 5 big team, like you said, that fits everything.
Yeah, you got it's other bigs in this draft. You got to look at, the kid from Washington, 6'11" kid, Hannes Starnback. A lot of people don't know about him. Technician, dunks, can shoot the 3. The European kid, he can go. Houston, Chris Sinnat Jr. The same 6'11", 240. Defensive big. There you go. That's what you're talking like. Yeah, I mean, this draft is deep. It's just Vassar from the UNC. You know what I mean? He's more of a skill big. You got local product from Paul VI, Patrick Namaga, the starting center for Duke. You might be like, he's a little too young. I may not want to go there. Like, you see what I'm saying? He's a sophomore, but big body, like somebody to add depth. I mean, yeah, man, it's a lot of ways they can go. But I'm with you, man. Unless it's like one of them. If it's Darren and AJ, you make an exception for them. But
I'm just talking about in the event, which I just live in a realistic world. If I am happily wrong and you get a chance to take one of them 2, then you take one of them 2, and whatever happens, happens. But in most likely event where I'm speaking excluding those 2. You're picking after them 2s off the board. Yeah, that's preferably where I want. And even in order, it's the Boozer kid first, and then some of them other guys for me. Just because he's the most ready to go. That's just want to get that out there. But yeah, now if you're at 1, like, come on now, I don't like throw everything I said away and fucking Darren and whoever got to move, package a couple of them other units and a pick to go get you another big, get you another pick. Do what you got to do. But Nah.
And the thing about Boozer, like those type of players, they used to win it, man.
Yep.
Like Cooper, they losing a lot, but Cooper's playing like a winner. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like dog, this gonna be a one-time deal for me.
You can see how, like to me, that almost kind of like it speak like this move almost speaks to that. Obviously, it's great for Washington, but think about what you're doing. Cooper showing you enough where you're like, all right, we going into this off season. They about to hit the gas on getting back to where they want to go to, like immediately, because why wait? Kid got the goods. Let's go. Get the flexibility, cap room with you know what I'm saying. They ready to. This is the guy. Like we're officially like the door. This rookie year for Cooper, especially like the last month or so, whatever he really started to get comfortable. That was the door closing on that previous chapter. This is officially the Cooper flag era in
For
Dallas.
sure.
So now go surround him. Go build the team around him now. That's what they are.
But then you gotta look at I forget the type of picks they have with this trade. They got some picks back. You see what I'm saying? Because they didn't before because of the Luka trade. They ain't have after this year, they ain't have a pick to like 2031. You see what I'm saying? So that's a long time to go without a first round pick, man. That's crazy. But you can also trade and and then I think they said something about because of trade exceptions for Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, AD. It's an aggregation thing, so it doesn't count. It doesn't hit the tax penalty for them, trading it. So that they below the tax haven, so they can still maneuver. Especially somebody come and get Middleton because it doesn't make sense to have Middleton and Clay. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're kind of playing the same role at this stage in their career.
Right.
And Clay's already been there, so like honestly, Middleton. I wouldn't be the team they played last night. I wouldn't be surprised they come get him.
Yeah,
because they need
you fit right in.
shooting. Somebody to spread the floor and balance that thing out, and he can still play. He can still help that. Like for 15, 20 minutes, he can still be Chris Middleton. It's the 35 and stuff that you might be asking too much, and that's the difference, man. But yeah, hell of a move, man. Front office. They said they've been talking the last month or so about like, things about to change. Giving that vibe, like, all right, enough is enough. Young boys had enough time to grow. We about to make moves, and here you are. You know what I mean? So,
job well done on this one. We'll see what it looks out as it plays the rest of the season. And obviously, we still got a day and somewhat of a full day, less than a full day until this deadline. So see what else happens around the league. If they do something else, we will be back. I guess we'll have something to talk about tomorrow during pregame. Outside of this. But thank y'all for tuning in. We'll check in with y'all tomorrow night. As the Wizards, I know they're on the road. Got to open my calendar because I cannot keep track of what's happening. They're on the road tomorrow night to take on the Pistons. So we look forward to talking to you guys during pregame tomorrow.